Hey y'all, welcome to our channel. My name is Tracy and I'm the keeper of the home here at 4D Farms, where we are all about faith, family, home, and farm, and in that order. And we're kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So y'all just come on in, grab a seat, take a look, and have a listen, because you don't want to miss a thing. Good morning, y'all. I'm being a little quieter this morning, just out of respect to our neighbor. This morning, so because I'm up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning for some reason, but everybody else is not. So I've already got laundry going. Woohoo! And so while one is washing, I'm going to get some bread started for tonight. But I'll tell you, y'all, I ain't even showered yet. After we had our coffee and my devotions and I saw hubby off to work, the sun was still low, but I waited on it till it got daylight, and I'm like, let's get up. Just go throw some clothes on, go throw a load in the laundry, and then let's come back and let's get some bread started. So, and I'm going to try to do this quietly so I don't wake her up. But, y'all, I have been wanting to try something for so long, and just today's the day. We're going to do this. Today's the day. I have been wanting to make boules. That's the French term, boules, but they're bread bowls. So that's what we're going to be making today, because I want to make, you know the bread bowls that get served like with the spinach and artichoke dip on the inside, or some kind of dip on the inside. Well, I'm like, I just can't stand it no more. I just got to give it a try. And then two, I'm just combining the ingredients. I have gotten so good about throwing these ingredients that I know works well together, and I've tested and tested and tested, and I've used, and I'm like, I've gotten better at it, that I can still enjoy making bread, making breadsticks, making pizza, making everything while we're on a work trip away from home. And even when I get home, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be using this method because I've practiced and practiced, and it's working great. And it's the easiest thing. I'm going to show you the ingredients I'm going to throw together. And I've already practiced the first time by making a sandwich loaf and some rolls to go with our supper. So I'll go back and do a video of that. I always practice and get better at it before I make a video. Sometimes I just go out on a limb and say, we're going to learn today together. But I've been practicing, so I know this works. So I will go back and do a video on the sandwich loaf if I haven't done it already. I may go ahead and do that and just put it before this one. But anyway, you'll get a video of that, okay? Because I know it works. I've been practicing. So today, I want to practice and do something else. And let's see how this goes. We're going to be making the bread bowls. Now, I'm going to have the dough. And I'm also going to be reserving a little bit of dough out tonight for some copycat Olive Garden breadsticks. Because we've got a big chicken Caesar salad in here from a restaurant that we go to when we just want to have a date night. And y'all, we like this restaurant because their portions, you get your money's worth. Their salads don't just come in a little salad bowl. Girl, this salad comes in a big dinner plate bowl-like thing, and we can eat off a salad for like two, have a meal that night, and then get two more salads a piece off of their one salad. David got a big burger last night. He's got manly hands. That burger, oh, y'all, we love this restaurant. We frequent it on nights where we just want to have a date night and we get to pick. They serve anything from pastas to pizzas to salads to burgers, some seafood. They got it all, okay? So we've got some leftover chicken Caesar salad in there. I'm going to whip up some breadsticks tonight to go with that meal, finish that salad off, and then I want to do some bread bowls to get ready for the next meal I'm going to be making. But I'm doing the bread bowls today to get ready for that meal since I'm already mixing up the dough. So I'm working ahead. So let's get this started. First thing I'm going to do, I put my glasses on so I can see y'all. Oh, there you are. Hey, friends. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do measurements, y'all, just for the sake of people like, I wished I had measurements. Y'all, I apologize. I'm a visual, okay, and I just like, bam, like Emerald Lagasse, little bit of this, little bit of that, and I can eyeball it. But y'all, that comes with, I'm like in my 50s. It comes with decades of cooking. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out, work with the measurements, okay? Find a recipe that's got the measurements. So today I'm going to try to give y'all some measurements, but still I'm going, okay, till it feels right in my soul, y'all. I'm just a seasoned baker and cook. If you're just starting out and you're a young lady just starting out, by all means go by those measurements. Trust me, the more you cook, the more you bake something, it will stick and you will begin to start learning that looks right. That looks like enough. A visual. Okay, so first let's get into this. I am going to start out with 1 cup of water, 1 cup of milk, about 1/3 to 1/2 cup of oil. I did eyeball the oil, y'all. You don't want the same amount of oil as you do the milk and the water. So I'm going to say either like 1/3 or 1/2. I'm sorry, of oil of your choice. I did use some canola oil. I should have used olive oil for the breadsticks, but since this is going to be bread bowls too, I just used a simple oil. Let's see. And I did go ahead and put my salt. I'm going to say about a teaspoon of salt. Sea salt, pink Himalayan salt. If you just want to use table salt, that's fine. But y'all, I have learned that a sea salt does incorporate better into bread recipes to help activate things, give it flavor, get it going. Okay? Let's see. I don't think I'm going to add any sweetener to this one. You can add because I think I'm out of honey. Yeah, so I'm not going to add a sweetener to this one. So if you want to add a sweetener, I've always told you, you can either leave a sweetener in or leave it out or put it in. Okay, so this time I'm going to choose to leave the sweetener out. But so I've got my milk, oil, water, and salt. I'm going to put this in the microwave, heat it up to baby bottle test on the wrist temperature, and then we're going to get the flour going. Okay, right here, we're going to do the flour. I'm using organic, unbleached, all-purpose flour, okay? You don't have to buy the organic if you don't want to. You can just get the regular all-purpose flour, but please use unbleached all-purpose flour. It works better, there's no cost difference, and it's just a teeny tiny bit healthier. But if you go organic, it's a little bit more healthier. I'm going to start out with 3 cups. And I'm going to let y'all watch me mix it. 1, 2. I'm not packing it. I can already tell we're going to need up to 4. We're going to need anywhere from 3 up to 5 cups. And the reason why I say up to is because it depends on how hydrated, shaggy, or wet you want your dough. Okay? It doesn't, I can work with either or. I've been making bread long enough that I can work with shaggy dough where it's just like blah, like a blob. I can work with it. Or I can work with a good stiff dough. It doesn't matter. I've been doing it long enough that I can do both. All right, now we're going to start with a tablespoon. Let's start out with a tablespoon. If I have to go up any more, let's do a quarter maybe, or an eighth. So you can go anywhere from a tablespoon up to a tablespoon and a half. I wouldn't go over any more than that unless you're making a big batch, like doubling a batch, okay? So there's my yeast. All right, we are going to stir this in a little. Okay. Now I'm going to reach over here and I'm going to get my liquid ingredients. All right, now I've got my liquid here, baby bottle warm test temperature, okay? I'm just going to add it a little bit at a time. Start stirring. Y'all, I went and got me a wooden spoon for stirring dough purposes. It just works a little better than using a tablespoon. I can't use these little plastic spoons because they bend. So I just went and got me a good wooden spoon to keep in my traveling box. All right, we're going to need a little more liquid. You know, I'm going to go ahead and use all the liquid. I can add more flour. So we're going to use all of it. I can already see I'm going to need some more flour, and that's okay because I've only got 3 cups in here. So I know I'm going to need another cup and possibly work my way up to 5. See how much easier this is, y'all? Okay, let's go ahead and add that 4th cup of flour. Y'all, I'm trying to make this as simple as possible because I'm also trying to teach my mama. My mama's never made bread. Y'all, my mama was a tomboy growing up. She was not interested in getting in the kitchen with her mama cooking. She wanted to be outside with her brothers playing trucks and cars in the dirt, and that's fine. Or out in the garden with her daddy, my papa, either in the garden working or playing with the horses and the animals, whatever. And that's okay. Everybody don't enjoy cooking. Everybody don't want to learn. Y'all know when I learned how to cook? Now, my mama didn't force me to get in the kitchen when I was growing up either. I had other things to worry about. My mama didn't force me to get in the kitchen to learn how to cook either. So, I didn't get in the kitchen experimenting and, Mama, what you doing? And I didn't do that. Well, when I got engaged, and I was like, oh, I'm engaged. I gotta feed this man. I gotta feed myself. Mama ain't gonna follow me. I gotta take care of us. Y'all, when I got engaged, that's when I started getting in the kitchen and saying, Mama, can you show me some things just to start off with? I'll just practice and play and I'll figure it out as I go. Y'all, that's what I did. So, young ladies, there may be some times where you may just have to get in there and start figuring out things. Grab a recipe, give it a whirl, see how it goes. Don't fret if it fails, tweak it, find out what happened, start all over. Y'all, that's how I learned, okay? And then his mama helped me out a lot. So, yeah, it took me forever, y'all, to learn how to make cornbread and biscuits. My biscuits were like hockey pucks. You could take those babies and throw them up against the wall, and it'd leave a hole. Let's play hockey. All that was missing was the hockey puck. The stick. I provided the hockey pucks, but the stick was what we needed. My husband's like, I said, you know what? That don't offend me because I see. So, yeah, we had to, I had to learn, y'all. And that's okay. I don't hold that against my mama. It was my fault. In my teenage years, I was too busy. Well, you know what? I was working. I wanted to work, okay? I wanted to provide my own gas money if I wanted to go hang out with my friends. Okay, I didn't rely on my mom and daddy for that. Listen, you little young whippersnappers. Okay, so I'm like, I didn't want to learn all that. I'm just stirring. I'm seeing if I'm gonna need more flour. I'll talk while I add more flour. So I'm like, you know, I hung out with my friends, going swimming in the summer, and I wasn't interested in learning how to do all the homemaking things. So when I got engaged, I'm like, oh snap, we gotta learn how to cook here. So y'all, I got ideas from my mama. We're gonna use the rest of this bag. It's another cup. So here is 5 cups going in. Let's stir this and see what kind of dough I got. Oop. I got a mess to clean up, y'all. All right, here we go. See, it was a little hydrated, little sticky, little shaggy. Some people might use that word. Y'all, I told you when we started the kneaded dough, the basics to bread making, that video, I told y'all don't let the terminology that people use trip you up. Some people just say different things. Some people will say hydrated. Some people will say shaggy. Some people will just say wet and sticky, okay? So, all right, this is looking good. We're coming together. I may have to get in here with my hand. Y'all, oh, this is beginning to get hard to stir. Now I think I can probably get in here with my hand and start just mixing this enough, kneading it enough to where the flour is incorporated. Let me get my rings off. The flour is incorporated. You're not leaving dusts of flour in here. So now let's do this. I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible. Getting back to my point, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for everybody to show you bread making's not hard, okay? And make it easy for beginners that's just learning how to do this. And since I've been teaching my mama, y'all, she is loving it, coming up with her own creations, coming up with her own bread, everything. So yes, just don't let the terminology fool you, trip you up, and don't make bread complicated. I told y'all, making bread is not complicated. All right, so let's work this into a dough ball. And at the same time, while I'm mixing, I'm just gonna kind of like lift up and over and just put it within itself to make sure that it gets incorporated. All right, I'm just mixing this. It's not wet. It is a little sticky, but it's not wet, okay? I'm not going to add any more flour. I know how this is going to turn out, and what I'm going to be doing right now, I don't have to add any more flour. If you want to keep on adding flour because you don't want it sticky like this, add a little bit more flour till it does not stick and you get that perfect dough ball. I'm okay with sticky because I've practiced and I know how this is going to turn out even though it's sticky. But I did want to make sure all that is in there. Y'all, also, if you don't want it to stick to your hands, wet your hands or oil your hands. But I'm okay. It's just like play on Play-Doh. All right, now see my dough ball's coming together. I'm just scooping and just putting it on itself. Trying to mix it. I'm not kneading. I just want to make sure all the flour, there we go. All the flour is incorporated. It's off the side of the bowl. Now, y'all, this is all I'm going to do. I'm not kneading. I'm not mixing anymore because I have learned this method from actually a lady who does sourdough. That's all she does is sourdough, but this method can be used for your 5-minute no-knead bread dough or your recipes for kneaded breads, okay? I'm okay with sticky. I'm okay with it because this is what we're going to do. I'm going to stop right here. And I know this is a kneaded bread, but that step is going to come in a few minutes. Because I'll tell you what we're going to do next. Let me get this off my hands, wash my hands, and I'll explain what we're going to do next. Okay, there's our dough. All the flour's incorporated. It's came together good. I've washed my hands. This is the 2 steps I want to tell you about. What I'm going to do is, remember in that the basics to bread making video, I tell you all the science behind every ingredient, how they work together, how your dough works together, how temperature works when you're making bread. Temperature in your home makes a big difference. Bread needs a little bit of warmth to rise, okay? You want to create warmth somehow. I got to spit it out this morning. Warmth somehow. So I've turned on my oven light. That's all I've got here. My oven at home has a warming zone. It has a y'all, I can't talk. Bread proofing feature on it. I got a light in my oven. Create some warmth. Okay? I know some people who have created warmth in a cold house by setting it on top of a heating pad on low. There you go. Okay, so I'm creating a little bit of warmth by turning on my light in my oven and getting it out of a cold draft. That's the first tip. We're going to cover this up. All I did was mix it enough and knead it enough to just incorporate the ingredients. Okay, that's all. I'm not wasting a lot of time on it this morning. I'm going to put the lid on it just like this. Don't snap it shut, because if this rises, okay. Now we're going to cover it with a towel, and I am going to put this in the oven with my light on. If I see that I need to create a little bit more warmth, because it's a little chilly in here this morning, y'all, I can light a candle and put it on the rack beside it, away from the towel so it don't catch on fire. Just a little bit of warmth. Set it, I know some people who will put this in their microwave, cover it up, put it in their microwave away from all drafts, okay? Just make sure it's not chilly and it's out of drafts. So I'm going to put this down here in the oven. Let that do its thing, hang out. Now, the next step is to let it start that first rise. First rise. I don't want to confuse you with terminology. Believe it or not, when you mix it like that, flour has the tendency, dough has the tendency to kind of start forming its own gluten. But we're going to be adding a little extra gluten where it gets that stretch and that nice little crumble. The next thing is, after this, see, no. This is the, okay, I am going to use proper terminology right now. This is the resting period. This is the first stage after you make your bread, the resting period, okay? But it means it's going to go ahead and rise that first time. So if someone says resting, just know it's right after you've mixed your dough, and you're going to cover it up, rest, and do that first rise. I don't want to confuse anybody. What comes next is a method that I have learned by watching people who do sourdough. It's called stretch and folds. And I'm going to show you how I do that. I think I've showed you a few times before. I'm not sure. I did show you where I'm making the round artisan loaf using a kneaded bread dough recipe. Or I used my 5-minute no-knead bread dough recipe for this artisan loaf because I mixed in and folded in cheese and herbs. Okay? And I did it with my 5-minute no-knead bread dough. But I have also done this with a kneaded bread dough, doing the stretch and folds and adding in some add-ins. Okay, we talked about that. And stretch and folds. So I'm going to let this rise the first time, rest, rise the first time, then we're going to start those stretch and folds. Doing the stretch and folds periodically, like every 20 to 30 minutes for maybe up to 2 hours. Okay, so that would be 2 hours every 30 minutes, 4 stretch and folds. We'll get to that next, and I'll show you how we do it. That will be the next phase in this dough making process. During this phase, I'm going to go switch out laundry, and I will be back, okay? All right, y'all. It is the same me. Don't worry. During this little first rise time, resting time, I took this opportunity to give a quick lick and a promise, as my mama would say, and take a quick shower. I still got to fix my hair, put on a little bit of makeup, but that'll come later. I'm going to show you what we're doing right now, okay? So, it's resting. Let me show y'all this dough. All right. I just took it out. Y'all look at this. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see what this did? Okay, rings off again. I should have just left them off, but I don't like doing that. Them suckers go right back on, okay, so I don't lose them. All right, I'm going to wet my hands just a tiny bit so it don't stick to you. You can use water, you can use oil, just don't sop it, okay? We're going to punch down. Y'all look at that gluten. Y'all look at that stretch pulling away. Let me let you look. Look at that stretch. Y'all, it's forming its own gluten. Now we're going to do the stretch and folds. You're just going to go in here, scoop away. Let me get where y'all can see. Scoop away. Look at that. It's tearing away from the bowl good. It's not sticking to my hands. You either use water or oil, whichever one you want to use. Look at that. Now, like I said, like I've showed you before, grab a hump, pull up, flex it a little bit, fold it over, turn the bowl. Do the same thing again. Pull up, stretch and flop around a little like a noodle, like a little wet noodle. Flop it on there. Do this around the whole bowl. Fold it back over itself. See how I'm folding it over itself? Okay, one more time. You're just going to keep doing this. Ooh. Y'all, look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love bread, y'all. I'm a sucker for bread. I'm telling you right now. Bread and chocolate, my favorite. All right. I'm just going to, y'all, you can even take it out of the bowl if you want to. Look at this. You can even take it out of the bowl if you want to and do this in your hand. Stretch, pull, fold over itself. All right. I did enough stretch and folds. That's the first one. Let me put this back in here, cover this up, let me put it back in the oven, and then what I'm fixing to tell you next is very important, okay? So just hold on tight. Let me get this back in the oven and wash my hands. Okay, I got that back in the oven, covered up. Now, I'm going to do that every 30 minutes up to 2 hours, okay? Do the math. I just did it one time. That's okay. The next 30 minutes, I'm going to do it again. That's an hour. Then 2 more times. So I've got 3 more times to go doing stretch and folds. This is what I want to tell you. This is a very easy method, stretch and fold method. If you don't have a stand mixer and you don't have the strength in your arms and your hands to stand there and knead a dough, okay? It's very simple because I don't, y'all. I have rheumatoid arthritis and my arms and my hands just, I don't have the strength to sit there and knead a dough for the amount of time it needs to be kneaded to you know. So I discovered this method and I started using it. Now, and it also works for me for traveling. The only thing is you need to remember Okay, every 30 minutes up to 2 hours. Y'all, you can do it every 30 minutes up to 3 hours. You can do as many stretch and folds as you want. You just got to remember to do it. Okay, this comes in handy for me when I'm traveling. This comes in handy for beginners, or if you don't have a stand mixer, it's perfect. Now, if you think I am never going to remember to stretch and fold that dough that many times, you got two options. Use a stand mixer right after you mix your dough all into the bowl. Sit there. The video where I made the sandwich loaves, okay, and we were mixing the dough. I did all my ingredients inside the mixing bowl. We mixed, we kneaded. I showed you that process of my mixer doing its thing for me, and then we covered it up, and then we came back to it, and then I showed you how to test it to see if it was ready, okay, to start shaping, and then doing the second rise and then baking. Go back and watch that video. I go through all that. If you don't have a mixer, more power to you. The old timers didn't have mixers back then in the pioneer days, y'all. They got their arm workout. Let me tell y'all what. After you mix your dough, then you knead that sucker for up to 15 minutes. More power to you. I just can't. So you don't have to do the stretch and fold method. By all means, use a mixer or your arms and your hands and just go at it and knead the dough. Mix it in the same bowl. Work it around. Knead it. Let it rest in that same bowl and do that first rise. Either do it with your mixer or do it with your hands. If you want an easier method, you just can't. You're traveling, but you still want some fresh bread, or you're just learning, the stretch and folds is awesome. Just remember to keep up with it, okay? All right, that's what I wanted to tell you. Now, y'all hang in there, because the next step is I'm gonna go ahead and do this 3 more times. The next time I bring you back, y'all come back and join me, because we're going to take this out. We're going to be shaping it into the boules and some breadsticks, and then y'all letting it go through the second rise, okay? It's going to rise each time you're doing the stretch and folds, but second rise is like if you're not doing this method. Normal method, after you mix your dough, you knead it, you rest it, okay? Let it do that first rise. Then you come back and then let it double in size. Then you come back, you take it out, put it out on a floured surface, just like I did the bread loaves, okay? Shape it, get it in your bread pans, whatever you're baking bread in, and then let it do the second rise, which is called proofing, okay? Y'all, if y'all are confused when I keep saying, you remember when, or watch that video, y'all, I am so sorry. If y'all are seeing me for the first time, come on in, join us, grab a seat, set a spell, grab you a pen and piece of paper. You might need it, because I just blurt out information on a whim. There's no telling what we're liable to talk about. All right, what you see is what you get. We're kind of like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get. All right, y'all, welcome. Join us. I am in the middle of a series of a bread making for beginners. If you are just seeing me for the first time on this video, I'm in the everybody that's subscribed and been following me for a long time, they know what I'm doing right now. We're in the middle of a bread making for beginners series. You jumped in just at the right video. All right, we're in the middle of it right now. We started off on a beginner level, then we worked our way up. We're in the intermediate level now. Then we're going to hit that advanced level. Advanced, okay? We're going to change up things a little bit. So, if you want to know what we're doing and you're interested in, I think I want to learn how to start making my own bread. breadsticks, rolls, pizzas, cinnamon rolls, focaccia bread, all this good stuff, artisan loaves that you've been seeing. I wonder how they do that. Those are beautiful. Baguettes, French loaves, bagels, tortillas, voila. Okay, y'all, go back to the beginning of this series. This is going to be all in a playlist. I start you out with simple Southern things, staples like biscuits, quick little rolls. What was next? Y'all help me out. Cornbread. I sound like cornbread, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I'm a princess sometimes and so elegant. And then all of a sudden I watch myself in a video and I'm like, you cornbread Alabamian thing. I'm sorry if y'all don't speak Alabama, but that's what I speak. So anyway, I don't live in Alabama right now, but y'all, I was born and raised in Alabama half of my life. And then now we live in Tennessee. So nope. I'm not a Go Vols fan, although my whole household is. Roll Tide. Roll Tide, baby, all the way, all right? I lived in Tuscaloosa around the college. Roll Tide, baby. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, I'm sorry, my Alabama comes out every once in a while and I sound like cornbread. But cornbread's on the list. Biscuits, quick little rolls. Then we get into a 5-minute no-knead bread dough. Y'all, I don't have time in this video to explain it. Start at the beginning of this playlist. Binge watch like you do Netflix, okay? Grab a pen and a piece of paper, okay? You're going to need it because it's out there, all right? And then I show you all the things to do with that 5-minute no-knead bread dough. In that same video, I made a homemade pizza with it. Y'all, this is a grab-and-go, refrigerated, fermented dough that mimics sourdough. I'm intimidated by sourdough. But my mama loves sourdough, y'all. And I think for the sake of her purposes, we're going to learn it. We're going to learn it together. I'm intimidated by it. But for my mama's sake, she loves it. I think we're going to learn it together. So, okay. But right now we're starting out this way. I've been baking bread all these years. But I'm like, there's people that actually wants to know how to do this. Let's just go back and do a series. So I started it, okay? Then we did, what was the next thing we did? Tortillas. Did y'all like them tortillas? Have you made them yet? Y'all, those things were so flexible, pliable. You could just flop them things around and they weren't going anywhere. Oh, enchiladas. We had quesadillas. Tacos, burritos. You could do anything with those. Chimichangas. Y'all, I make flour tortillas and I will do chimichangas. I will do quesadillas, burritos, all that good stuff, y'all. When they start going a little stale and you ain't used them up enough, do them babies up in strips and you can make you either some baked or fried tortilla crunchy strips to go in soups and stuff like that, like a chicken tortilla soup. Oh yeah, like we made. I don't know if that video is going to be before this one or after it, but we made that. All right, that's what you can do with that leftover. So right now we're in the middle of this bread making for beginners. Go back and start from the very beginning so you can get caught up, especially the video basics to bread making. Okay, that's going to give you a lot of hints of what we're starting right now in the intermediate. That begins the intermediate level in this bread making series. Grab a pen and a piece of paper because I still have my pen and a piece of paper when I made the video, okay? So I can go back, how to do that? Okay, so y'all, welcome. I'm so glad you're just hopping in here. I know I'm a little crazy, but now, somebody's got to be to keep the fun going around here. Life would be boring without a little bit of craziness. Okay, so while this is doing, I got 3 more stretch and folds. I'm going to be cleaning up. I got to go switch some more laundry. I'm going to try to get myself put together here. Okay, so let's do that. And then y'all come back and we're going to get to that next step. Okay. All right, y'all. I have done laundry. I have made myself up to where maybe I can be a little approachable. People won't be so scared of me. Y'all, you ready to get this dough out of here? Let's get going. We're going to get this out. Y'all, I have honestly only done 3 stretch and folds. 3. I haven't got to the 4th one yet. Let's see what it looks like. Only after 3. That's just 3. Y'all, this is just an easy method. Okay, let me get my work area ready here, y'all. Towels on. Y'all like my t-shirt? 40 Farms. Look, cows, little babies. Established 2006. We've been working our tails off since 2006. I designed the t-shirt. The hat I had on in part of this video or another video, 40 Farms, dear hubby designed those. All right. Y'all, this is just jiggly, y'all. Okay, let's get this dough started. Let me fix y'all. Let me fix you here and get my little work area going. Let's get y'all a little closer to where you can see. I've cleaned my kitchen too, y'all. I've been busy. Made myself presentable. Well, that too. Made myself presentable to the public. Cleaned my kitchen. Clean, laundry. I'm on the last load of laundry, y'all. And then, I've been going. Now, y'all, I'll probably faint and fall out later. I'll probably just kill over somewhere and have to take a nappy. But that's okay. I have to do that every day, y'all. Just get some rest. I use my energy when I got it, but when it goes, it's gone. So I gotta rest, rejuvenate, and go for round 2. Okay, let's get this going. All right, so this has only been 3 stretch and folds, y'all, but I'm saying it is ready because for one thing, it's smelling ready. For number 2, it just keeps coming back. It just keeps rising and keeps rising and keep rising. Now we're fixing to check the stretch. And y'all, if it's like stretchy and kind of toughish, I know it's ready, and it's only been 3 stretch and folds. So let me flour my surface here, because now we're going to form the breadsticks and the boules. The bowls, y'all, okay? I'll just stick with Southern talk. Wash my hands just so I can get this out of here. Look at this. Y'all, it's ready. Look at this without breaking. It's ready. Let's do this. And look how it just comes out of the bowl. So easy, y'all. Look at that. Just come on, baby. Well, a little bit right back there. Look at that. Just comes out of the bowl so easy. I'm going to get that last little bit of precious dough. I hate leaving anything in a bowl or a jar or anything. All I'm going to do, y'all, is just give this a couple of little folds. Maybe just roll it over itself just a couple of times. That's it. Work some of these air bubbles out. I'm going to try to get y'all just a little bit closer. I'll move these pans here in just a minute. I feel gas bubbles in there, y'all. Oh, that was the bread. That wasn't me, y'all. I promise. Okay, we're just going to do this. Now I'm going to kind of like stretch and fold over itself like you're taking the top, bringing it down around to the bottom, cupping it and poking it underneath. So you're just going to keep stretching it. Keep pulling to the bottom. This helps too, y'all. If you want to do this in some of your stretch and folds, this is fine. Take it out. Do this a couple of times. Plop. Okay. Now, y'all, I didn't even have to have a dough scraper or nothing. Let me keep my flour handy. All right. Let's make sure it don't stick. Now, I do need my dough scraper, though, because I need to cut this. I only need let me get y'all closer. Hold on. I've already got my baking pans here lined with parchment paper so they don't stick and I ain't got to oil anything and really mess up a pan. So I just like using parchment paper, y'all. Let's get y'all up here a little closer where you can gander a little better. You can get a bird's eye view, as my mama would say. Hey, mama. Y'all, my mama watches my videos, so I have to be on my best behavior or she'll get me. Okay, now, I only need a few breadsticks for tonight. So I'm going to say about 4 breadsticks is all I need, maybe. Because, like I said, we've got that little salad left. So I like this. This is a dough scraper, dough cutter. It has the rounded edge where you can get it out of a bowl. And this is your cutting edge. All right, let's put this over here. That's for the bowls. All right, now I'm going to do this into 4. I only need 4 breadsticks for tonight. That one looks a little bigger than this one. Okay, now we're going to half this again. Let's get this one together. I want them even, y'all. I'm OCD. Okay, we'll poke you in there, fold you up in itself. Well, now I got this one big. Oh, well, y'all. Here. Y'all, dough is so forgiving, y'all. I feel like a kid playing with Play-Doh. This is why I started my grandkids out playing with Play-Doh. Because now they can get in there and help me whoop some rolls up, a loaf of bread, pizza. They know because they've been playing with Play-Doh. Now we're going to cut this again. And there's me 2 breadsticks. And dear hubby 2 breadsticks. Now, y'all know we're going to make the worm, okay? Just make the worm. Just press, but go out at the same time. Like you're doing the little worm, y'all, in kindergarten, playing with Play-Doh. I still play with Play-Doh, y'all. My granddaughters, come play with me, come play with me, come play with me. Oh, yeah, we get the Play-Doh out. All right, that's all I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to plop it over here on the lined parchment paper. And we're going to do that with all 4 sticks. Ooh, speaking of stick, I don't want it to stick to the counter while I'm rolling. Just make the worm. This is going to be the breadsticks. We'll get to the bowls in just a second. See a little air bubble right there. That's going to be, it's going to be good, y'all. All right, breadstick. That one may be a little bigger, y'all. They may be a little wonky, y'all, when you make them, but that's okay. They ain't got to be perfect. I love Olive Garden breadsticks, y'all. Olive Garden is one of our most favorite places to eat. And I am a sucker for their breadsticks and their salad. Y'all, I can go in there and just make a meal. I have sanitized my counter, y'all, after I did my dishes. I can make a meal just off their breadsticks and their salads. There we go. 4 breadsticks. I'm going to put these in the oven. This is going to be the second rise. Into the oven these go so they can be doing their thing while it's warm in there. Now let's get to these bowls. Now y'all, this is the first time I've made these, but I've watched and I've watched and I've watched and I've read and read and read. I do want to try to make 5 bowls because I would like to take some supper to our little neighbor over here. She kind of got hurt. And I got to go on a little trip home for about a week to spend time with the granddaughters and family. And while I was gone, she kind of got hurt a little bit. She pulled a muscle. So I'm going to try to fix her some supper. And I want to fix her one of these bowls. I'm going to fix her some supper for tonight. But then she's going to get one of these for tomorrow night too. Okay, now, so now I need to get 5. So it's going to be a little awkwardly cut. So, let's see. There's half, okay? That's probably going to make 2 bowls. Let's see. Let's get a little... Oh, well, y'all. We're just going to start cutting. I may get 3 bowls out of here, y'all. And it depends on what size you want your bowls, y'all. Let's go for 6. All right, let's go for 6 bowls. It all depends, y'all, on how big you want your bowls, okay? Just kind of keep them uniform. Let's see. This one is a little bigger. We need a little more there. Just kind of eyeball them. Y'all, if you want the big balls, make a bigger ball. Dough ball. If you want just like a serving size, especially like for kids, a little bowl. Just make them the size that you want, y'all. Now, this is what we're going to do. I need to have my baking sheet ready. This is what we're going to do. Flour the surface. Take it. Do the same thing. Start folding in itself. So I'm just going to bring it from the top to the bottom. Cup it in on the bottom. Make a little ball. But do this. Roll it around. Let me move these. Because, y'all, these are going to double in size again, too. So, if you think, oh, that's too small, y'all, these are going to puff up. They're going to get bigger, remember, because they got to go through a second rise. Now, we're going to do this. Bring it to, like, kind of like you're doing, you want that bottom. And as you're doing it, cup and pinch with this. Cup, pinch, cup, pinch, cup, pinch. Work it around a little bit where that bottom will get settled. Plop it on your baking sheet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you how to do one more. Then I'm going to do the rest. Get them on my baking sheet. And then I need to pause for a minute and tell y'all something. I don't know if I have mentioned this. Well, we'll talk about it in just a minute. Cup and pinch. Now, see, I don't like this right here. See that? See how that's kind of overlapping? This is why you want everything smooth on top. So I need to go and do this some more. Get them sides in there. Make sure this is all stretched out and going underneath, kind of like a jellyfish on top. Now, cup, pinch, twirl. Cup, pinch, and twirl. All at the same time, y'all. To get a smooth little bottom that it sets on, okay? There we go. And there's the second one. All right, I'm going to finish doing these, and then I need to tell y'all something, another process in bread making that may help. All right, they're all made. Now I'm going to put these in the oven and let them proof, second rise, double in size, okay? All right, we got those in there. This is what I wanted to tell y'all. And I don't think I have covered this before, but it just so happened to have come to my memory for some reason. If you get in a situation where you're in the middle of making bread and an emergency comes up, because it has happened to me before. I've been in the middle of making all this bread and stuff like this and getting that rise going. All of a sudden, I get a phone call from the school. You need to come pick up your son. He's running fever. Dang it. All right. I have to have a stopping point somewhere. This is where this method right here will come in handy, and you can do this anytime. Whether you get stuck, you get in an emergency, you got to pause for a minute, or you want to make, like one day, you want to do the process of getting all your doughs ready and all such as that, going through the second rise, and then you're just tired and you need to take a pause. And I've done this before. You can get all your doughs and stuff ready in one day, do a big batch cooking. A lot of people who have sourdough bakeries or bread bakeries do this, okay? When you go through that second rise, let's say you've done this for a while and it's getting like nighttime and you're getting tired and you're ready to go to bed. Or you need to take a break and an emergency comes up. If you get in that situation and if you want to do this, after the second rise, everything is shaped, everything is going through that second rise. Put it in the refrigerator. Put it in the refrigerator. That stops the fermenting, it stalls it, it stuns it, and it holds it and keeps it steady, if that makes any sense. It stalls and stops the fermenting, and it stops and stalls the proofing, okay? To where you don't start smelling like alcohol and you'll wind up with a drunk squirrel, okay? I've done that. Okay, so, and like at nighttime or something when you're like, okay, now I will finish these in the morning. Or like, you can plan to do this. After the second rise, put them in the refrigerator. It stuns it, stalls it, holds it, Okay, when you're ready to do your bake, now cover them up with something. I know some ladies that will cover them up with tea towels. I know a lady that will put them inside a Walmart sack and then just loosely tie it over it. Keeps the bread from drying out and getting that hard kind of crust on top while it's in the refrigerator overnight. You can stun it for a little while, if this is making any sense. Then when the next morning you can get up fresh and take them out of the refrigerator. Take them out of the refrigerator long enough to get that cold off. But you don't have to let them get to room temperature. Kind of in between. Just get that off of there, okay? Let them start getting a little warm. Okay, but still just a little chill, if that makes any sense. Be preheating your oven once the cold is off. Preheat your oven. Proceed with baking. That's all you got to do, y'all. I do not know if I have said that in another video, and why I haven't already, I don't know, and I apologize. But you can take a pause and stun it, come back fresh the next day. That's all you got to do. Or if they've gone through that second rise and it's early enough in the day, you got to take a pause and stick it in the refrigerator till you get back. Like, I really got to have these for supper tonight. Stick them in the refrigerator, stop it. And then come back and then do that process. There you go. Did you write that down? Okay. We're going to let these double in size and then we'll get to baking. It is time to get these baked. They have more than doubled in size. Look at my breadsticks, y'all. They have more than doubled in size. Let me let you look at these bowls. Look like hamburger buns, don't they? They've doubled in size. I'm going to set them right here. We're going to preheat the oven. Everybody likes to do different temperatures. I've seen people bake at bake bread at 325, 350, 375. We're going to do a happy medium, 350. Preheat the oven to 350. As soon as this lets me know that it's preheated, I'm going to put these back in the oven. Let them bake probably... how long do I do breadsticks for? Not really sure, y'all. Till they get like a little bit of golden brown. Then we're going to take them out, slather them babies in some butter. And on the breadsticks, I'm going to do a little sea salt on top. And we're going to give them a taste test. Not the bread bowls, just the breadsticks for tonight, okay? And then see how they turn out, okay? Y'all, I'm sitting here watching these bake and smelling them. And I just realized I forgot one thing. I didn't do an egg wash or a milk wash. And that's okay. They're still going to bake up fine. But they're not going to get that deep, darker, golden brown color. Okay? Just remember, and it's okay if you forget those. It's fine. I'm going to baste them with butter when they come out anyway. They'll get that butter flavor. But if you always want that golden brown color, do an egg wash or a milk wash on top before you put them in the oven and then bake. I just forgot. So they're not going to get that deeper, darker golden brown color. And that's okay with me. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we don't. Crap happens. Okay? So I'm still waiting and I'm smelling and they're just puffing up. All right, it's time to get them out. Y'all, it's been about 30 minutes. Oh, y'all, they did kind of get a little brownish color. I'm impressed. Sometimes you can get surprised. Let me see what the bowls look like. Ooh. Look at that big fat one. Oh, I can't touch it, y'all. Where's my... I can't touch it. Look at that big fat one. That's going to be dear hubby's bowls. Look at that. They did get a little brownish in color. It's okay. They would have been a little deeper, with a good butter. I mean, a good egg wash or a milk wash. All right, let me get my little basting brush and my butter. Where'd it go? All right, we're gonna get to basting. I'm going to baste these first because these are for tonight, and put a little sea salt on these. These may get some right now, or I may wait until tomorrow night's meal when we actually use these. But these right now are going to get some basted on the top. Oh, y'all, that's smelling so good in here. That one just got a little wide. It's all right. Hey, they look good, y'all. These are going to go really good with some Caesar salad, chicken Caesar salads, pastas, any kind of thing. I think we've actually got another meal of some bow tie pasta in there in the freezer that we just had leftover. So many leftovers. We just said, hey, why don't we put this up for another night's meal when I don't feel like cooking? I'm going to go ahead and get that sea salt on these while it's wet and sticky, so the sea salt will stick. Oh, yes. Y'all, now's the time where you can put anything on top that you want. You can sprinkle some garlic powder. You can even put garlic powder in your butter and melt it. Then put the sea salt. Everything bagel, sesame seeds, anything. These are going to be the bowls. I think I will. No, you know what? I'm really not, because I'll tell you why. The bowls are going to the soup bowls. These are going to get the tops cut off and some of the middle scooped out so you can ladle the soup inside the bowl. Use the little pieces of bread that came out to dip in and still eat with the bread. Okay, so I'm not going to do that with these because they're going to get scooped out anyway. Now, that's your breadsticks and your bowls. Your bread bowls. Okay, now tomorrow night when I make a ham and potato soup, the thing about the bread bowls, make sure you don't have like a soggy soup, like tomato soup, which would be good if you're going to eat it in a hurry, because it will start seeping down through and it will just get your bread bowl all soggy and stuff, and it might not be as good. Maybe a little I can't talk today, y'all. Little bit thicker consistency soup. A good little chunky, kind of creamy-ish broccoli and cheese. I'm going to do ham and potato, so it will still be kind of a little soupy, but chunky too. Just ladle wet soup in there, because it might not hold, the structure might not hold up. So I will, when I get ready to make the soup, I will put pictures at the end of this video, a little slideshow, showing y'all how I cut open the bowls, take the top off, scoop out some of the inside. You don't want to go in there and scoop out all around there, because you need some to build up the wall, okay? Just enough to make a bowl, and you can ladle your soup on the inside, okay? So I will put a picture slideshow at the end showing that process, and then what the soup looks like inside the bowl, and then we're going to chow down on it and have it for supper. That's how you make soup bowls, and that's how you can make some breadsticks. Easy peasy, no need, just stretch and folds throughout the morning just for a couple of hours. Then your next one, shape, let it rise again, and bake. Voila, y'all, play with your dough. If something doesn't turn out exactly right, find a way to salvage it. Let's say the bread bowls were just a flop, okay? Cut them up into cubes, put them in a breakfast casserole, put them in, you can cut them up in cubes, not big cubes, but cubes. Put them on a lined baking sheet, bake them till they get good and crusty crunchy. Run them through a food processor. You've got breadcrumbs. Oh my gosh, use the breadcrumbs. Before you put them in a food processor, use those as croutons. Go one step further, put those baked cubes in a food processor. You got breadcrumbs for like coating pork chops, coating chicken, so you can fry it, coating some squash and frying it up, eggplant, use it as a coating if you want to bake something instead of something fried, okay? Oh my gosh, what else? Put in your meatloaf as your binder with your egg. Don't let the bread go to waste. Find a way to repurpose it. That's all. I am so glad these turned out so good. Goody, goody, goody. So, I'll just remember at the end, check out the slideshow of when I open these up, scoop them out. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that, okay? Or I might just do a video clip and show you how I do. I tell you what, I'll do that. When I get ready to make this, I will do a video clip of how I'm going to do it, okay? And show you how much you need to leave left in there, okay? And we will bowl it up. Get it? Okay. We will bowl it up, and then we will go to town eating, okay? So that's breadsticks, and that's how you make the soup bowls. Y'all stay tuned. There is more to come, and we're going to have fun. I'll see y'all in the next one. Or just check this next clip out, and then we'll end the video, okay? See, I almost forgot, okay? Y'all remind me to do this, okay? I'll see you in the next little clip, okay? This is how we are going to prepare the bread bowls for a wonderful potato soup tonight, okay? So, we're going to take a knife and we are going to cut a hole in the center. I wish they would have gotten a little taller, but I think the more they proved, the more they did the second rise, they started just kind of getting it, blobbing out a little bit. I'm going to see if I can perfect that and get them a little taller and catch them at the right time to throw them in the oven. But we are going to cut a top off of here and start scooping out some on the inside, but don't cut away from here. So let's go over here and try to do this. All right, let's try to do this. I've never made one of these before, y'all, so just bear with me. All right? Just make a hole in the center to where we can get the soup in here. I got potato soup going, simmering over here. It's beginning to thicken up. All right, so I got that cut. Now I'm going to go in here and take this top layer off. Look at that perfect little lid. Now I'm going to go in and start scooping around like I'm trying to scrape the seeds out of a pumpkin. But you're going to leave some of the flesh. Oh, that's a good example. All right, so just go in, start scooping, but don't tear it, y'all. Try not to tear it. And y'all, don't waste these leftover bread pieces, okay? I got peacocks out here that are going to love this. So don't tear away, don't throw away those bread pieces. If you don't have anything else to do, now it's been a couple of nights and these have been seeding. Freshly baked bread won't do like this. All right, so we're going to, all right, y'all, I think that's going to be good right there. And we're going to use this as a little bowl. Keep these scraps, y'all, because you can turn these into breadcrumbs, whatever, okay? I'm going to leave that so we can kind of like dip that into our soup. That's all you do right there, y'all. Cut you a circle in it, scoop out, leave some flesh like you're scooping out a pumpkin and getting the seeds out. All right? Soon as the soup is done, we're going to bowl this up. Come on, y'all, laugh. All right. I'll be back, okay? Well, I'll show you what it's going to look like when we get it done, okay? And here we go, y'all. I got it booled up. Bowled up. Here, look at that black pepper just dripping down the side. Look at that. Here it is, all bowled up. That's how you make homemade bread bowls. And load those babies up. This is dear hubbies. Load those babies up. There you go.